All right, setting off. Yo, what's up guys? We are back and we're back in the car today. I really do like this whole thing that I got going on here with that new suction cup type thing. Let me go ahead and show you right now, actually, as a matter of fact. This is pretty much what I'm looking at here. Looks crazy, to be honest, but it's like 3 suction cups, all that cool stuff. Today we're gonna be talking about some cool car stuff. What car stuff, you may ask? Well, we're gonna be talking about the new Generation BRZ / GT86. There's something about that doesn't sound right. We're gonna get to it though. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the video. I've already made another video on this one previously. If you want to go ahead and watch that one, go ahead and click like that top right. I think it might be right there or right there. I honestly never really know where it's at. All I know is it's in the top right for you. But we have finally got a new update on it. So this is pretty awesome. It's awesome to be able to update you guys, especially because this is a car that I absolutely want, and I will 99% be getting it. The only reason why I say 99% is because we haven't actually seen the car yet. But there is like a rendering on Autocar, which I shall put up right there, and I actually like it, but we're not going to be getting into that. Wow, it's such a beautifully ugly day today. So we already know that the BRZ / 86 is coming back. I told you that in my last video. So now we're just gonna update you on some new stuff that we heard. I mentioned that a GT86 sounded a little weird. The only reason why I'm saying that is because Toyota has decided to change the name of the next generation 86. It's gonna be coming out as a GR86. The reason for the name change to the GR86 is to help boost the Gazoo Racing division at Toyota. The Gazoo Racing division at Toyota is actually their division for their sports cars. It started off with the GR Supra. Now it's going into the GR Yaris that they have releasing in Europe, which actually looks pretty sick. And also they're going to be using the nomenclature of GR for the new 86. So we all know that it's most likely going to be able to perform, and they actually said that it was going to outperform the Supra a long time ago. My bad, it wasn't outperform. It was going to be a better car to drive. It would be a better driver-oriented sports car. My bad. Don't be typing in the comments. My bad. That's on me. All right, moving on from the name change, we are going to be going into the chassis. I don't know if I went over this in the last video. There's some speculation that we were going to be seeing the new generation on a different platform, not on the same chassis. The chassis right now is actually built by Subaru, but the new platform that they have is built for all-wheel drive, and unfortunately that chassis will not be compatible with the new 86s because the 86s are rear-wheel drive. So they're going to be switching over to a modified Toyota TGNA platform, which is going to be compatible with the rear-wheel drive layout that this car is going to be. With Toyota's TGNA platform, this new generation 86 should have a lower center of gravity and a more rigid, stiff chassis than the current one. So that's pretty awesome. Also, from what I've heard, ooh, that good lighting though. From what I heard about Toyota TGNA's platform, we should have a little bit more room for activities in the engine bay. So I'm pretty excited to see what they do on Toyota's platform. I believe it's going to be an even better performer when it comes to handling than this one. So that's pretty awesome to hear. And also, with it being Toyota's chassis, does that make Toyota the master race, or is the BRZ the master race? Is Subaru or is it Toyota? I don't know. Okay, now moving on from the chassis, now we get into where it gets nice and interesting. It's the steak and eggs of the video. We're going to be getting into the motor again. Which one are they going to use? As I stated in the last video, there are 4 different options they could have used. They could have used a revised version NA of this one. They could have used the turbocharged one in the WRX, or they could use the new Subaru Ascent motor with it being NA, or they could have used the Ascent motor pretty much just straight over there and have it turbocharged. from what some sources are saying, they've said that Toyota has said there's gonna be more power in this next one, which we all definitely assumed, right? And from what they believe, it's gonna be the FA24 out of the Subaru Ascent, and they believe it's gonna be turbocharged. And now may I remind you that the Subaru Ascent makes 260 horsepower, 277 foot-pounds of torque, which is a lot more power, more so torque, than the current generation. This one that I'm in right now, it's the 2013, has 200 horsepower, 151 foot-pounds of torque from factory. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and stick to my guns on this one. This one, I'm gonna go ahead and say that they're not gonna be using the 2.4 liter turbocharged FA24 directly out of the Subaru Ascent. I'm gonna go ahead and say that they're using FA24, yes, but it's gonna be naturally aspirated. I still believe that's what they're gonna do. Why do I believe that's what they're gonna do? This car was never really meant for straight line performance, as we all know, especially from what this car is. It was meant for cornering, canyon runs, autocross, drifting. It was just meant to be a car with not a lot of horsepower that you can have an extreme amount of fun in. Now I know what you're thinking. 260 horsepower isn't that much. True. That is very true. But when you're thinking about it, this is only a 2,800 pound car. That's not very heavy. That even gets this measly 200 horsepower from a stop not too slowly. It's slow, but from what I feel, it feels slow because the lack of torque and the torque dip that comes from stock. We all know this. Everybody talks about it. You hear it time and time again. That's beating a dead horse. But this car wasn't really meant for straight line performance. It was meant for being a really great driver's car. That's a pretty big deal. There's not a lot of them. It's supposed to be bare bones. It's supposed to be cheap, rear wheel drive, lightweight. Along with it already being a slightly bigger displacement motor, the turbocharger is going to go ahead and add some weight. It needs to be affordable. The turbocharger, yes, they have done some R&D, but the turbocharger is going to add a little bit of cost to it, to the production, to the more research and development, because I'm sure they have to redo a lot of the piping, a whole bunch of stuff to it, just to make sure it'll run reliably. And if they were to go ahead and keep this car naturally aspirated with the new motor, which I believe is the FA24, it'll be a little bit cheaper to manufacture, it not being turboed. It'll give you more torque because it has a little bit bigger displacement, give you some more power, a nice, probably respectable 25-30 horsepower. Not a whole bunch, but respectable. I think they're still going to be using the Toyota D4S fuel injection system because it's a very efficient system. They were able to get some power out of it in this current generation. I'm also hoping, since it's going to be the naturally aspirated, they're going to keep that compression ratio just like the current generation 86s at a 12:5:1 compression ratio. It also helps a little bit with the power boost out of the naturally aspirated motor, and it makes it a little bit more of an efficient motor than, you know, if they were to keep it 10:1. I'm going to go ahead and say it's not going to be turbocharged. It's an unpopular opinion, most likely, but from what I see how this current generation is, I don't believe it's gonna be turbocharged. I just can't see it. I would like to see it. That would be great. It would be really cool for them to add a turbocharger. But I feel like it would add a little bit too much for production costs, and it would be a little bit harder to be balanced because a lot of enthusiasts like a nice naturally aspirated vehicle, as it is super rare for today's standards. A lot of people are going forced induction for good reason, but it doesn't always offer that same response like a naturally aspirated motor does. But that's just my opinion. But just let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's going to be turbocharged, or do you think it's going to be a naturally aspirated motor again, just with the FA24? Now back to the words of me saying that it was a bare bones sports car. This car is actually bare bones. What do I mean by this? Toyota has actually stated themselves that the new Generation 86 is going to have a little bit more driver accommodating features, a little bit more technology, and a little bit better quality of interior. They've actually gotten complaints of the interior being cheap, low rent quality, basic interiors. This is an affordable sports car. They had to cheap out on somewhere. They spent most of the money on the driving experience itself, not necessarily the quality of materials. Personally, I like the interior. It's very driver oriented. The shifter's in a perfect place. All this good stuff. But I will say, yes, the materials are a little bit cheap, though it doesn't bother me. I don't really have any complaints about it. I'm not too big on luxury. I'm okay without it. I could live without it. The seats feel amazing. As long as the seats feel amazing, the steering wheel feels great, shifter feels great. It's a driver's car. That's all I care about. The only thing that I really do kind of have a small complaint about is my head unit, which is really old looking. Not that big of a deal. I'd really only be asking for a new head unit that's touchscreen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. That's pretty much it. The one real thing that I have that worries me about this car is how much it's going to weigh. We have rumors or talks of it being, turbocharged, new motor. It's not going to be this one that's in this current one. So a new motor, turbocharged, and a nicer interior. Now a lot of that translates into is it being heavier. I'm just really hoping that they can keep it within a 2,800 pound range. I like low weight. That's what this car is all about. Now on to pricing. Right now you can get a base model Toyota 86 for $27,060, I believe. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you add another couple $1,000s onto that price tag just because it's new. It's gonna have a little bit more driver accommodating features, a little bit more technology into it. But I believe they're gonna be marketing this car saying that it's one of the best sports cars you could buy for under 30 grand brand new. Sounds like a good marketing scheme. Upper trim models are probably just gonna creep just over 30 grand before taxes and fees. I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it, and I really, really want to bring one on the channel for you guys, so you guys can see it, and we can build it pretty much together. That's what I'm working for right now. Now, when can we expect to see this? I'm gonna go ahead and say late 2020. That's a stretch. More than likely, it's gonna come out sometime early 2021. I believe pretty soon we're going to be seeing some type of concept of that car, hopefully in one of the auto shows, definitely sometime this year, hopefully sooner than later, so we can go ahead and update you for even more. And I can't wait to hopefully get that car on this channel so we can build it together, and I'm just excited. It gets me excited for sure. So that's it for today, guys. Go ahead and get out of here. Have a great day. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.